Welcome everyone, my name is Leon and I am joined by KilroyTV. We are here discussing Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, and just kind of our Call of Duty backgrounds. Anyway, I want to let Kilroy, he's been on my channel before, but I wanted to introduce him to you guys for anybody that's new. He is on my streams, and so I currently actually have him in-house right now, and I want to go ahead and let him introduce herself. And
Yeah.
so
hey,
yeah,
thanks, man.
problem,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess my Call of Duty background, where it starts, is way back in 2005. I was in 5th grade, and that was when Call of Duty 2, not Big Red One, but Call of Duty 2 by Infinity Ward, came out and got Game of the Year. And I wandered into the I guess you can call it the computer room at my house. My dad he's built his own PCs ever since, probably the late 90s. But so he had his gaming PC in there, and then he had a cracked copy of it, so just please don't tell the FBI or anything. But so I launched it, and I fell in love instantly because he was trying it out. And he had that copy of it on his machine, so he's trying it out. I fell in love. I loved the game, and that actually, from Call of Duty and also spending time with my grandfather, grew my love of history. And I actually have a history minor in college. So, but that's just kind of a little tidbit there. But as every Call of Duty came out pretty much after that, I've played ever since then, Now, when Advanced Warfare kind of hit, I kind of lost a little bit of interest in Call of Duty.
So I don't blame you right there.
So, the last, from Advanced Warfare on to the latest titles.
Wasn't Infinity War that got the most disliked?
Oh yeah, dude.
Like one of the most disliked videos on YouTube.
Yeah, it got hammered. It was horrible. It was horrible. I felt bad.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, I'm about there with you. Of course, you're talking about how Ghost was your favorite one.
Well, right? It was one of my favorites, even though a lot of the fans didn't really like it. I don't know. Actually, I kind of see mixed feelings about it all the time. But it was one of my favorites because my cousins and I had that game, and we, along with the very kind of passionate fan base that it had on PlayStation, we were on there a lot, and we had a lot of fun playing that game on multiplayer and messing with people. But my 3 favorite Call of Duties, if I have to pick favorites, I think number 1 is going to be Black Ops 1. Classic. I love it. Have so many memories on it.
There with you, zombies.
Yeah.
I love
everything
Black Ops 1
about
zombies.
it. Yes. All the DLC maps that came out with it, I loved it. And then probably a close second. It's kind of hard to pick 1 and 2, but a close second is Modern Warfare 2. A lot of also good memories staying up 9th, 10th grade every night on a school night.
3 o'clock in the morning, sitting there, your eyes are about to fall to the floor.
You have a math test the next morning. You got to stay for it, but you don't give a crap.
Yeah.
Like my mom would be like, it's time for you to go to bed. You don't need to be staying up playing video games. As soon as she would get out of the room, you go up to my PlayStation, beep, turn it right on.
Well, that man, and your third, what would be your third most favorite Call of Duty out of the bunch?
If I had to pick a third, I guess maybe Ghosts. A tie between Ghosts and maybe Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 1. Those are like a tie for 3.
Right.
That's kind of hard to choose.
All right. So anyway, again, you guys know who I am. I am Leon, of course. However, I've never kind of given my backstory of Call of Duty. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of the fortunate ones to have internet in the house back then. So my parents, we didn't have internet until I moved to actually Atlanta, Georgia. It was the first time I ever had a home that had actual internet in it. And so I played, of course, a lot of the original PlayStation 2, well, at least on the PlayStation 2. I played Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty the Big Red One. I played all of those other than Call of Duty 3, and I think a lot of people missed Call of Duty 3.
Yeah, I didn't though. I had it for PlayStation. I had it and I loved it.
Right. Well, and I don't think at the time I had a PS3 yet, because I didn't get a PS3 until like a year and a half after the first initial ones released. However, somehow I got one of the first gen ones. Not sure how that happened, but it could have been back stock like in the store or something like that. So basically, I played all the campaigns, and I fell in love with Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 1.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that was where I kind of came into the scene of playing just the single player just over and over again, because I really loved it. But I got really good at just even a single player. I never got chance to do the multiplayer. I got split screen every now and then with my stepdad. But man, whenever I moved up to Atlanta, the experience of multiplayer, because here's the thing. When I got Modern Warfare 2, which was I got it around, I think I got it either at Christmas of 2009 or it was mid-November. But I was in Alabama at the time, and I was in my home city at the time, and I didn't have the PlayStation 3 with me.
Oh, man.
So I had the game, but I didn't have the console.
Rip.
So yeah, it was a ripperoni. So I had to wait all the way to like January, even after the Christmas Christmas news came on. So I came in the scene, and man, I played multiplayer for the first time on just Modern Warfare 2, and I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. And then not only that, I actually begged my mom to give. To go take me to GameStop, and I also got Call of Duty World at War and Call of Duty. Of course.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm
no,
sorry.
I
forgot World at War. Never mind. That's number 3.
There you go.
I'm sorry. How could I forget that?
World at War. Yes, World at War was definitely a classic. I spent hours on World at War. I'll tell you, I spent hours on it. I think I actually spent more hours. Of course, I kind of started getting addicted to Call of Duty, but I swear I spent a little bit more hours on World at War than Modern Warfare 2 on the PS3 at least. But man, I remember playing in free-for-alls with this friend of mine. We just happened to join the same game every time. We were trying to mess around with the matchmaking, see if we can get thrown in the same game, because you can't join with friends. And also domination. Man, I got nukes every other game, and I felt like I was a pretty good player. It wasn't until I got to the PC scene until I started realizing how bad I was. So the PC scene, of course, is where I am now, and I've been on the PC scene for about 8 to 9 years, and man, I tell you what, it's been great. I didn't actually start playing MW2 at that time, but I did have it for Steam, and I played it back then, but I was garbage. I had a garbage PC, little gateway laptop, something that wasn't even being able to handle Call of Duty, really. I mean, it couldn't even handle Battlefield, bad company. So, but back in the day. But man, if I had to, I've played pretty much every Call of Duty since then as well. Skipped over Advanced Warfare. Played it, but skipped over it. We'll say we skipped over it because I only put about 20 hours into it. I was
same.
not,
That had the least amount of hours.
I was not too happy with that one. Yeah. Infinite Warfare. I like the multiplayer. I will say I like it, but it's not my preferred Call of Duty. I enjoyed the multiplayer because it was a toned down, tone deaf version of Advanced Warfare with the super jumps. They were going in the right direction. It wasn't until Black Ops 3 until they got the boosters right in the way that they were probably trying to intend the boosters to go. And I feel like it was a perfect mix. I don't think that you don't have people hopping everywhere. I mean, you can at least have some people boots on the ground. And I enjoy Black Ops 3. So mostly all the Treyarch games I've pretty much enjoyed. But if I had to list them out in the top 3, first would have to be MW2. Because MW2 was my childhood. MW2 is something that is close to my heart, and it's something I very much enjoyed with friends that I've met over console, and met over PC.
There's a big story to be told there for you, right?
Well, of course, yeah, and we'll probably get to that too in a later video that I'll probably do on my channel. How MW2 and how gaming has changed my life and had my viewpoints, it just also going through depression, going through a lot of different stuff, and gaming has been a kind of core focus of where I came from, and how MW2 at least
was an outlet.
It was an outlet. And so, but I would love to get to that into another video. However, definitely MW2 #1 spot, had a place in my childhood. Number 2 would have to probably be Black Ops 1.
Mhm.
Black Ops 1 definitely, I remember spending many hours working on several different projects like on PC, and we definitely wanted to try to get the zombies to work and the multiplayer and all that kind of stuff, but it was just a separate project that I was in. But it was really fun, and zombies was really fun to mod. It was so fun on PC when you started actually kind of getting the mod tools ready for it. It was great, and I got, awesome game. Number 3 would probably have to be somewhere in the mix of Black Ops 3 and World at War. I love Black Ops 3. I have about 200 and something hours in it now. Don't have as many hours accumulated from console of World at War and PC. So PC, I didn't play a lot of World at War, but I remember on console I did.
Yeah.
So World at War definitely has a place in my heart because it was one of those OGs. So
all the glitches too, man.
Well, and I think, and so I think basically our list is basically the same, other than your top was Black Ops 1 and my top was MW2. So we flipped 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much where I am. But let's go ahead and get into actually Black Ops 4 now. We're coming up on the release. What is your initial thoughts of multiplayer and a Blackout so far, of what you've just at least seen glimpses of and played?
Now, I played the multiplayer beta with you, and honestly, and sorry guys, but I really I wasn't a huge fan. I just don't like the dedicated heroes type style that Overwatch has, kind of going towards that direction
Like
with it.
The specialists.
Yeah, specialists. That I like to call them heroes because it reminds me of Overwatch.
Right.
But I mean, I on the other hand, I'll applaud them for trying to change that up and seeing how that works. But I don't like that direction personally. But also, I don't know. I think it was that. And plus now with games like Insurgency, Sandstorm, and like tactical shooters, I'm just more of a fan of those games. I'm just more of a fan of those games than, because I feel like that's what Call of Duty should have become, is maybe like a more tactical type shooter.
You really think so?
I think if they went in that direction, that's personally though, but I think if they went in that direction, it would be awesome. But I mean, they went more in a different direction, but that's okay. That's fine.
They're kind of staying in that arcade kind of.
Yeah.
That's something that's worked out.
Call of Duty
for them.
is an arcade shooter, but if they would have instead of implementing ideas like from Overwatch and stuff like that, and trying to implement ideas like a tactical shooter plus arcadey style, who knows what kind of Call of Duty we'd have. I think it'd be a cool idea, but that's just me. Everybody has their own opinion.
Kind of like mixing. I would say mixing like a Rainbow Six Siege,
or something
like
that. Yeah.
into Call of Duty, or
right.
at least like a game mode kind of like that you can kind of exclude yourself and say, I want to play the tactical shooter style.
And that's why I love cause those games, because my favorite game mode of Call of Duty is Search and Destroy. I love Search and Destroy. Search and Destroy modes are like my favorite. Those type modes. But that's really my feelings on multiplayer. Now, for Blackout, it surprised me, because when I first saw it, I was like, okay, it looks kind of cool. But now that I'm seeing the gameplay, I was like, wow, this is probably definitely going to be better than what Battlefield's going to put out. And then,
I think anything's going to be better than what Battlefield puts out right
now. Unlike Leon here, he thinks that it's going to really kill PUBG, and I love to play PUBG, but I don't think it's going to kill it. It's definitely going to take some players away. I don't think it's going to kill it though, and it's going to do the same to Fortnite. Fortnite's too big of a cultural sensation for that to happen, in my opinion. But we'll see, I guess. But
no, I fully agree with you right there. I mean, like I said, I've made statements about how it's going to decimate the I would say 80% of the player base. I would say 80% of the PUBG's player base.
I'd say maybe like 40
would move over to Blackout, depending on how PC players. We haven't even gotten a beta yet, so we don't really actually know, and we don't actually know how people feel about spending $60 just for they don't maybe want to play multiplayer, they just want to play Blackout. So we don't really know if
I definitely want to play it, that's for sure.
So
it looks fun.
It looks very fun. So what did you think about the flow of the live gameplay that you saw from some of our favorite creators, such as we'll give Ghost a shout out.
Yeah,
Ghost 619.
Oh yeah, we watched that earlier. That gameplay was actually, it looked really fun, and I even mentioned like a few details, like, oh wow, I like how you can heal yourself as you're running. You can't do that in PUBG. But that changes a dynamic, of course. It makes it a little bit more faster paced, which is what Call of Duty's more associated with, you know. But it looks like a lot of fun. It really does. And I love the idea that they did is going and making the whole map different pieces of fan favorite maps.
Yes,
that is a cool idea.
Nuketown
And it probably,
Island.
Honestly, and not to, I don't mean this in a negative way, but it probably didn't take a whole lot of effort to make that map because, of course, they probably had a lot of the assets there.
Well, they did. The developers have mentioned, and of course, this could be smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
But the developers mentioned that no, they had to re-import a lot of the assets, and their engine is completely custom now. It's not based off the ID Tech engine anymore. So they've mentioned that a lot of the assets had to be imported, but some of them had to be completely recreated. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that's true to what they're saying.
And I also love the fact that they're going to implement zombies with it. That is like
that's great.
It seems like a cool
Especially
dynamic
around the boxes.
Right.
That's really cool.
And even the random boxes themselves, that's a cool dynamic. Cool idea. Great idea about the dev team.
Especially going around like the graveyard area.
Right. But I just hope that the zombies is not going to be like corny, if that makes sense. Like I hope it's
too
not
overpowered or something like that.
Either that or like just too much of a too underpowered, I guess. Then at that point it'd be like super corny, you know, like they're just
right. It looks like it looks like at least based off of what we're seeing, it looks like that it actually causes the zombies want to go after you, so you basically aggro the zombies, and so any other opposing force, meaning any other players, come and see that. What are the zombies doing? I'm a team running with you, but I see another team. And there's a bunch of zombies acting up over there. Yeah. So there we go. There's players over there, and now that kind of gives you away. So I think it'll definitely be a challenge.
Interesting dynamic, for sure.
It's definitely going to be a challenge because you're going to be able to see that. Plus, they're going to be after you. They do damage. They'll shred your armor.
Yeah.
So at least based off the beta gameplay that we're seeing.
Yeah. But one thing, actually, I guess a couple things that I was worried about is, one, the helicopters. Like I thought in my head, like, what if I'm getting down to like the last 2 or last 3, and there's a dude in a helicopter floating above us? Like, that's gonna make me really mad.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how the dynamic of the circle is actually gonna be. I don't imagine that you could really fly a helicopter. Like I said, I haven't seen very end of games. I've only seen people last to like 27 to single digit range. I've never seen an actual helicopter with people that are in one of the last circles. So it'll definitely be crazy. For me, this is kind of getting to a long video, but that's all right. For me, I gotta admit, the multiplayer for me, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. There's no quarrel I have with it. I can't find any cons really, other than the armor. The armor is horrible in multiplayer. Can't stand it. I think that's a general consensus. That's the entire community is saying that the armor needs to be reworked for multiplayer, and I could not be farther from the truth. So for me, I loved it. Loved the health system. I love the health system. The fact that your health doesn't regenerate or doesn't regenerate fast enough, and you get to heal yourself, and that's just awesome. It adds a huge dynamic to it. It makes you pick and choose is this the right time I need to be in the firefight? Do I need to back out and let my teammates come in? Am I in a search and destroy game? Am I the last guy? There's 2 guys that I'm going against. How do I do this? Do I disengage and quickly heal and go back? Or do I go ahead and take out that one guy, but even though I'm at 5% health or 5 health, do I take out that one guy and chance it and then go heal? Something like that. Gives you a different dynamic of the game. So multiplayer for me, no cons. Loved all the specialists, most of them. I played several of them. Played the recon. Played the guy with the shield. I can't tell you all the names. I haven't done too much research on the actual specialist names. But I loved all the specialists. Loved the health system. Loved the flow of the game. And I'm just basically waiting to see more of it. Want to see more multiplayer. Now, of course, I think the biggest focus, moving on to Blackout, I think the biggest focus is going to be Blackout for Call of Duty this year. I think the multiplayer is actually going to get squashed a little bit. I don't think there's going to be as many players on multiplayer this year because of
Blackout. Because everybody wants to do Battle Royale.
And I think
stinking Frogger 3 Battle Royale.
Frogger 3 Battletoads Battle Royale.
Jeez, man.
So I think Blackout is going to basically kill the player base of multiplayer over time. I think multiplayer is definitely going to be packed in the first 6 months, but I think Blackout's going to carry out that content, and I think it's going to carry out the user base of depending on which platform you're on. And it's a little scary, It's like, well, maybe I want to come back to the multiplayer, but I can't find anybody to play with. So it's going to be a little scary, but I think that's how kind of Call of Duties have been going recently. It's like, well, it comes out and get a little bit of fatigue, and then
then
6 months
over
later,
in 3 months or 4 months.
Yeah, but they release content, and it looks like they're really treating PC players this year.
Yeah,
They're really wanting these PC players to come back, and this year it's releasing on Battle.net. Great choice. I've been wanting it to get off Steam for years.
Really?
Yeah. I just don't like Steam. At least Call of Duty and Steam. It just something about it just doesn't feel right. And I love the direction they went to. I'm glad they didn't go with EA or something like that. That would have been horrible. But since Activision owns, they own at least shares, or they may own the entire company of Blizzard. At least whatever shares they may hold, because they run the WoW stuff and all that kind of stuff. But since it's already on their platform, they said, well, it also could be, Steam charging them too much to sell on that platform. And they're probably just making that ultimate decision. It's like, well, wait, we own the rights to this. Why are we putting it on Steam where we have to get like a 20% cut to Steam, where we could just sell it on our own platform and get 100% of the profit?
Yeah.
So I think it's a good decision that they did that. So all in all, I think Black Ops 4 is coming out to be a great game for now. We are only seeing the betas, but we are not too far from the release date of Black Ops 4. And so, yeah, I hope that you guys have enjoyed the video. What is your pros and cons of Black Ops 4 coming out this year? I mean, what do you guys think it's going to be? Give us a short answer, man. Give us what's going to happen. And we definitely want to hear from you guys. We definitely want to read the comments and see what your opinions are on Black Ops 4 this year. So really appreciate it, guys. We had KilroyTV or Kilroy on the video. It was fun. Really enjoyed having you on, and hope to see you next time.
Yep.
On the video. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and you guys have a great one. Peace.